This is the story of some slaves in Egypt. Our story's in Exodus chapter 1, and it begins with the story about a king who decides he's going to make slaves of all the Hebrews. Then after he does that, he starts to worry that there's too many Hebrews. He's concerned that if he's attacked by outside forces, that the slaves might revolt and join their attackers. So he comes up with a plan. I'll have all the boy babies killed. I think the idea was it would minimize the amount of men that could turn against him if they were attacked. I don't think he was very bright. A way to implement it was using midwives. He was going to have the midwives kill all the boy babies. The two midwives that we're told about are called Shiphrah and Puah. And he gives them what their assignments are. They are supposed to kill all the boy babies and let the girls live. The slaves defied the king because they feared God. And I think that's pretty amazing for a couple of reasons. One is it's been 400 years since they have been in the land that God promised Abraham. That's a long time to not see any results of that promise. And they could have lost some of their faith, but they didn't. And they kept that love of God that made them be brave. This makes me think of the death camps where soldiers were ordered to murder. That's what these women were asked to do, is to murder. And they had the courage to say no. I wish we all had the same kind of courage to do the right thing, no matter what the circumstance was. The king, of course, realized that they were ignoring his orders and called them in. I'm sure they were scared because as a slave, that could have been a deadly situation. They told the king that the Hebrew women were so hardy that they would take off before they could kill those babies. Probably a lie, but I think it's pretty creative, and they got by with it. It talks about the fact that God blessed them and gave them families because of the fact that they were righteous and they did the right thing. These two slaves were brave in ways that a lot of people aren't. They were scared, but they still defied the king's orders, and God blessed them. I think this story helps us see how anyone can be brave. It doesn't have to be the leader. It doesn't have to be the fighter. It can be the slave. It can be the midwife that shows the courage to do the right thing when they're told to do something wrong. The idea that God blesses us when we do the right thing, even if we're not perfect, I think is pretty comforting. And this is a great story to show us that. Thank you.